Hello, welcome to day 26 of our 30-day Worthiness Attunement journey. I'm Grace Willow, and I'm so grateful to be here with you today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a brand new baby channel. I think I'm up to maybe 16 subscribers starting from ground zero. So I'm so grateful, so grateful that you're here. And if you're returning, welcome back. Before I begin today, I just wanted to do a quick little plug for myself because I have a brand new channel and I haven't learned all the cool kid YouTube stuff. You actually would not believe how many videos there are out there to help young baby YouTube channels learn how to do all the cool kid stuff. And I don't have as much time as I would love to be able to drop into that. So to help my channel grow, if you like the content that I'm sharing, please hit the thumbs up button, the like, and subscribe and share if you'd like to keep subscribed so you can receive notifications when new videos are released. And also share this with people in your life who may enjoy watching these videos. Okay. So I took a day off yesterday. So I apologize if you were sitting and waiting for the video, wondering where it was. I did a personal energy healing session and then went to the grocery store and then fully intended to sit down and create videos. And I actually just had to go take a nap. So I slept for a few hours and I woke up and I just was not in any shape to create videos. So it was a personal day, and I am worthy, just as you are, of tending well to myself. So I am modeling for you, not only in the practices that I'm sharing, but in my own self-care practices in my personal life. So I appreciate you understanding and encouraging and taking in what I'm modeling and sharing, and perhaps adopting better self-care practices for yourself. I think it's really important to set boundaries around what we can and cannot give our energy to. Our energy is precious, life force energy. It's a resource. And if we don't have enough for ourselves, we get depleted and resentful. I sure do. I get really resentful and cranky if I override my boundaries and give my energy to something that I just don't have the bandwidth for. And so, especially right now, it's getting dark here. It might rain. I'll turn on my light so you can see. Especially right now, we're coming up on the full moon in Aquarius on August 1st. And so we're kind of on the shadow of that as the moon waxes, gets larger. We're moving toward, as I'm recording this, today is July 30th. This particular full moon, I've listened to quite a few astrologers, and one perspective I listened to yesterday, the channel is Rasa Lila, I believe. He talked about this particular full moon being kind of like an itchy sweater. And I'm sharing this because it has to do with our practice, setting boundaries, but also with our practice today. So I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent. He talked about this full moon serving kind of as an itchy sweater to support us in really, really getting clear with ourselves about what serves us and what doesn't. If it's uncomfortable, if it's itchy, it's almost like we're having an allergic reaction to things that we put our energy into that don't serve us anymore. Perhaps relationships that we've outgrown, or relationships that are toxic, poisonous for our systems. Work situations that drain us when, deep down we'd rather be doing something more enlivening, more in alignment with our soul's path and purpose and our joy. So it's super important right now to be really, really paying attention and choosing, what am I aligning my energy with? What am I investing my energy into? Am I saying yes when I actually mean yes? Or am I saying yes when I don't really want to? So perhaps just sitting with that. Today's practice, I'm going to be talking again about imposter syndrome. I'm surprised by how many video views I've had on that particular video. It seems like it's a hot topic, and I know it certainly is with the women that I work with, men and women, but I primarily work with women and transgender. I don't mean to binary the system here. I do know that there are a multiplicity of genders, but just for the sake of the clientele that I have, the majority of them do identify as female women. So imposter syndrome, I know I spoke about this in day 25. So today's a little bit different spin on that. Imposter syndrome causes us to abandon ourselves. It causes us to betray ourselves, to override our boundaries, to override the truth of who we are. I know when I was a child, I got the messaging, and I don't remember if it was overt, but I certainly intuited as a very psychic child. I was aware of what people were thinking and feeling, and often got negative feedback for that. But the message I internalized was, who do you think you are? And I'm sure many of you have gotten that feedback. Who do you think you are? And so we'll kind of bend ourselves to accommodate and hide the truth of who we are, which can create a dissonance between who we are and who we're trying to be, the social mask that we're wearing in any given situation. I once worked with a client. She shared with me, she said, I'm never the same person in different settings. Like if you put all of my friend groups together, they would say, that's not her. And she did it because as a child, she was expected to behave in particular ways. She was raised in a culture very face-saving culture, face-saving family. And that can, it creates a deep imprint that it's not safe to be who I am. So today's practice, we are going to call back the parts of you who don't feel safe to be who you really are. I'm going to invite you, if you have black spruce essential oil, grab it. If you don't have it, I would highly encourage you. I know it's an investment. I know essential oils are expensive. The essential oils that I recommend for these practices are kind of like giving a turbo boost to the practice. You can certainly do the practice without it. Your intention is incredibly powerful. But if you want a little extra support, invest in the oils when you have the chance to do so. But certainly if you don't have them, or if you just don't choose to use them, that's fine. Just do the practice with your intention. And then if you at some point intend to have the oils, then you can revisit the practice and do it again. And any one of these practices you can revisit and do them multiple times if you'd like. So I'm going to invite you, if you have it, to grab black spruce. And we're going to be placing 1 or 2 drops in the palm of your hand. Rubbing your hands together. Placing one hand on your sacrum. It's the bone at the very kind of the top of where your booty crack is and meets your low back. It's a triangular bone, also called the sacred bone. And then the other hand on the occiput, which is the bone at the very top of the neck, the bottom of the skull. The sacrum energetically represents the past, and the occiput represents the future. So by placing our hands on the sacrum and the occiput, and then closing your eyes, and just holding the intention that your sacrum is releasing any imprints that you received from your ancestors about who you needed to be, or even in your childhood home, family of origin, growing up in school, teachers wanting you to be or behave in certain ways. And then the energetic conduit or the circuit between the sacrum and the occiput is being cleared of any imprints, any distortions, any blocks that you have placed there subconsciously as a way to stay safe so that you don't experience rejection or shaming or, as children, we are so resourceful and we will go to great lengths on very subconscious levels to put things into place to make sure, to ensure that we get our needs met. And so in our family, if it wasn't safe to be who we are, or to have certain traits or qualities or quirks, we'll put them underground and hide them and then, put chains around ourselves on an energetic subconscious level to ensure that those traits never see the light of day. And yet, in order for you to actualize your potential, your highest potential as a soul having a human experience, it's vitally, vitally important that you reconnect to who you truly are. And if your arms are getting tired, you can just bring them down and maybe inhale, taking in the scent of black spruce. And just, if it feels okay, continue with your eyes closed and just intend that any younger parts of yourself, any inner child parts who decided it wasn't safe to be who you are, it wasn't safe to be exuberant or intuitive or curious or smart, or, if you had any particular difficulties in school, perhaps it was difficult for you to sit still. Perhaps it was difficult to read or do math or a certain subject. Call those younger parts of yourself back. Let them know it's safe to be here. Whatever day you're listening to this, I'm recording this on July 30th. So I'll give this as an example. You can let these younger parts of you know, today is July 30th, 2023. I'm an adult. I get to decide where I put my energy, who's in my life. It's safe for you to be here now. And if you're listening to this on any different day in the future, you can just insert the date. And that by speaking the date out loud to this younger child part, it brings that part of you who is frozen in time in your nervous system into present time, integrated into the here and now, into safety, into permission. It's safe for me to be who I am. I have full permission to be myself. I can be quirky and exuberant and energetic and curious, and I can embrace the fact that math is difficult, or spelling was difficult, or there was an undiagnosed, maybe there's ADHD or ADD, or I know in my case, I had a particular form of dyslexia and it was incredibly difficult for me and it was undiagnosed. So I had, a lot of workarounds to avoid getting in trouble for having bad grades in math until I got old enough to realize, like, oh, there's that thing. But I certainly compensated for it and actually informed the career choices that I had allowed to be available for myself up until a certain age. And then when I realized what was happening, I was like, oh, I'm going to take care of that inner child part who didn't get the support she needed at that time. So that's what I'm inviting you into with this practice today, is to clear out the imprints, reconnect to the part of you who knows who you are and where you're going in this life, your soul blueprint, clearing out the pathway in your spinal cord between the two, And letting those younger child parts know that it is safe to be who you are. Spend some time with these younger parts. Perhaps journaling about any insights or awarenesses that you have in this practice. And then noticing how those past experiences have informed your current life. The insecurity that it may have created, the fear of showing up and being visible, fully visible, fully who you are. You are magic. Embrace that. You are magic. You're the only one of you that has ever existed as you are in the unique configuration of you. You're made of stardust. You are significant. Really take that in. You are significant. And I'm not saying you're more significant than anyone else, but you are significant in your own unique, beautiful, magical way. You are oh so worthy. There's nothing that you could ever do to make you unworthy. In the scope of all that is, as a soul having a human experience, you came here to experience being in a body, going through the veil of forgetfulness, experiencing the contrast to serve you in your growth. Well, here we are, we're growing. You're reclaiming the parts of yourself that have perhaps been locked away or fragmented or rejected because they were rejected by the people in your life when you were a child. It's time to welcome them back. It's time to stand in your wholeness, the love that you are, the worthiness that you are. I'd love to hear in the comments below how this practice works for you, what insights you have. And if you are reluctant or reticent to share in the comments, I do want to let you know that I have a brand new, just released on July 26th, community space. The link to the community space is below. It's called the Space for Grace, although I think I'm going to change the name. So if it's a different name by the time you join, if you choose to join, don't be alarmed. It's just I'm in an ever upward spiral of growing and becoming myself. And so the name A Space for Grace was what showed up initially, and now it kind of feels like not quite aligned. So I'm waiting for the name that it wants to be called, the community space. I'm waiting for that name to become clear to me. Also, if you'd like deeper support, I am also in that link for the community school. It's also the place where all of my courses and workshops will live. I have a brand new course that's coming out. The registration just opened July 26th, and we start, the course opens August 26th. And our first live ceremony will be on August 30th. The course is called Queen of Worthiness, Reclaim Your Throne. And if it resonates for you, you can look at this course description in the link below. If it resonates for you, I'd love to have you join. If you register by August 25th, you also get access to my Jade Egg Pleasure initiation for half price. So if that's something of interest to you, if you've heard about the Jade Egg phenomenon and wondered what it is, and there's a lot of information out there on the internet that's not quite accurate. So if you've ever been interested in exploring that, this is a great opportunity to do so. And yeah, feel free to join the community space. I'd love to have you in there. I'm considering taking this worthiness journey a little bit deeper following the Queen of Worthiness course. So if there's a particular base or facet of unworthiness that really challenges you or that you really struggle with that I haven't addressed, please share it, because I'm happy to maybe create a membership topic that we can, all get in there together and discuss. Or if you share that with me before the end of these 30 days together in this journey, I'm happy to address it here as well. All right. Sending you so much love. I'll see you again tomorrow.